Hey there, this is Katherine Cartwright. Welcome to the ScrapbookPal channel. I'm so excited you're here today. I'm going to be sharing this stamp set from Pinkfresh Studio called Painted Daisies. It is this beautiful large stamp set. There's one large stamp that has this beautiful bouquet of flowers. You can see there it's one large stamp. And then there's a coordinating die that allows you to cut out the outline, outside edges of this beautiful stamp. There's also a coordinating layering stencil set that has 6 stencils in it. This allows you to quickly color these images. You could color them with your markers if you wish, but this one allows you to quickly create these beautiful images using any color ink you want. And there are 6 stencils in there, and they're all marked at the top which number stencil, so you always know which one to start with. So let's go ahead and get started. I have stamped this image onto Bristol Smooth cardstock. That is what I usually use to blend inks on. I've got a bunch of distress inks. I'm going to go and start with this beautiful green ink here. You can see the openings. They're different openings, and then they have the other images are masked, so to speak. And so as you build your image, different stencil, each stencil will have a different section to color. You can see I've got some leaves here, I've got some smaller flowers, and then the centers of these beautiful big daisies. I'm going to pull out a little bit of my pink Pixie Tape here to cover some of these. On this first stencil, a couple of them are a little close together, and since I'm using my blender tool, which is a little bit larger, I just want to make sure that I don't go over a neighboring section that is open, like those pink flowers or the section of the center. So I'm just kind of masking that off a little bit in this first stencil. And I've got that beautiful green, and I'm just making sure I've got all my little images. You can see it pretty well on screen where it is open and then where it is closed, and it's so quick and easy. And then I'm going to use a beautiful pink for my smaller flowers. And then I'm going to choose to use a brown for the center of my daisies. Again, you can choose whatever colors you want, whatever shades you want. It gives you so much flexibility, and you can just create so many different images based on the color choices that you make. So now I'm going to move on to these pink flowers, these smaller flowers here. Just takes a second to blend that in. You could use any blending tool that you prefer. You can use a finger dauber, that fits on your finger. I'm going to use that a little later. I've got a smaller image that I use that with. And then, or you could use a blending brush, would be great too. Now I'm going to move to this darker brown. I have them all linked in the description, all the distress inks that I used to do the center of my flower. And then I will, the future ones that I do, I will speed those up just a little bit. I wanted to go in real time on this one so you could see exactly how pretty it is and how easy. Again, I'm going to do a little bit of masking to keep some of these close areas from being contaminated with another color. And then I'm going to start with the green again. And it's amazing how you think you're not really doing anything, and then as you move along, you just see this beautiful image build. I'm going to use the yellow on this one. I believe this is mustard seed. One of my favorite yellows from Distress. Going to quickly ink blend that. And then there's some cone flowers on there as well that I have masked off. We've got these little pink ones. And again, just going to put a little bit of coverage over that yellow so I don't get my brush and my blending tool in there. And then we've got this other one. You can see it's starting to pop off the page. And then I will go to the orange, which are these beautiful cone flowers. I love cone flowers. They're some of my favorite flowers to grow. Unfortunately, we have a lot of deer where we live, and cone flowers are basically like candy for them. So look at that, so beautiful. And they eat everything that we put out, so we don't really end up with many flowers, and cone flowers are some of their favorites. So I'm excited to see them in this stamp set. If I can't grow them, at least I can color and create them to send to a friend. All right, so I've just got a few little spaces here to do with the green and the pink, and you can see I pulled out a little finger dauber there for that darker green. I'm going to tape this off one more time to put my orange second layer on there. And again, I have them all listed in the video description. But you can see how it's starting to really build on itself, and you get this beautiful shades and interest with the depth. Way better, I think, than I could color myself for sure. All right, I'm moving on to a little bit of a darker color here to add that contrast, and again using a little bit of tape to block off any colors so I don't contaminate another section. And these really are very quick and easy to create. And there's that one. And then I'm going to finish with a little bit more shading on those beautiful cone flowers. And then you can really see the flowers have come together. Now these next few stencils are going to be a lot of the greenery. I love how you can build that up. And so these just take just a second to run over your paper because it's all one color. And there's nothing to mask off on these later stencils. And again, they're numbered on the top, so you can always know where you're supposed to be. And here's one more. I'm using a pretty dark green here to add that last layer. Super, super pretty. And it's that easy and very quick. Okay, there we have it. So beautiful. So I'm going to just use my outline die here. I have run it through my die cutting machine, and you can see that it is beautiful. You get this gorgeous panel. You could always cut it apart if you wanted to. Maybe you only wanted one of the daisies, or you just wanted some cone flowers, or you wanted to do kind of a spotlight of one section. You could do that, but I love the way that you've got this beautiful panel to work with. I'm going to add some foam to the back of it, and then I'll add it to my card base. But it cuts out a little bit of the insides, so you'll have some of your cardstock showing through. I chose a light blue cardstock, and again added foam to pop this up. I'm going to apply this directly to my card base, and you can see you get all of that blue showing through. I just love the contrast between the colors and the light blue. Okay, so I am going to add a die cut sentiment with a stamped message on here to the front. This is from Honeybee Stamps called Bitty Buzzwords, and this is Bloom. I love the font, and I thought this would work great with this beautiful flower panel. I cut the top word Bloom from brown cardstock, and then I'm going to decide where I'm going to put my sentiment here. It's your time to bloom. I thought that just worked so well with this beautiful panel, and I cut that from orange to pull out a little bit of those coneflower colors in there, and I thought that coordinated well. It's a nice contrast with that blue background. And I added a little bit of foam there, and so that one is ready to go. But I am going to add a little bit of some Stickles glue. I love the Stickles glitter glue. I have lots of colors. This is Diamond, I'd probably say this is my absolute favorite Stickles, although I have lots and lots of colors. I just love the Stickles glitter glue. It doesn't give too much dimension, which I actually want for mailing. Sometimes I want to have a lot of pop up on my card, but on this one I've already got some foam, so I'm just going to keep the glitter flat on here, and it's just a great and quick, easy way to apply some bling to your cards. So there's that one. And then I also wanted to show you, I created a second card off camera. I used the same colors pretty much, but I stamped it directly on the panel, and then I just kept it in a piece. I didn't die cut around it. So I added the panel directly to the cardstock. So you can see it looks very different in my opinion, and I love that you have a lot of flexibility if you wish by using the die cut or not. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're not a subscriber to ScrapbookPal, take a second and hit the like button and the subscribe button. There's so much great content over here. You don't want to miss out. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.